What's going on, y'all? Back here again with another video. Decided to do another tech review. Today I'm going to be talking about the iPhone XS. But before I get into that, my last tech video I did was on the DJI Osmo Mobile 2, my new phone gimbal that I'm using myself. So for those of you who are into mobile photography and video, I advise you check that out, and it's a product you might be interested in. But anyway, enough of the shameless plugs. So today I'm gonna be talking about, my experience and a small review of the iPhone XS. If you're a little nerdy like me, chances are you probably already searched the video, a more detailed video than I'm gonna give you, that gives you a little bit more information. So you won't be finding me talking about the pixel density, the PPI, and all that stuff like that. So this is gonna be a basic review, screen, sound, camera, which is my main point, selling point of every iPhone that I get, because I do record on my iPhone. I'm actually recording on my old iPhone 8 right now. The reason I still have it because I don't know whether I want to trade it in or not. I'm almost done paying it off, so I figured I might as well keep it so I can have a secondary camera. But yeah, I am diehard mobile video. I do not use a DSLR camera or anything like that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into things. So I'm going to be going over the iPhone XS, not the XS Max. I decided to downgrade my size. I had enough of the brick phones and I wanted something I can actually handle. But yeah, I have it in my case right now. I like clear cases so I can see what my phone actually looks like. But yeah, I don't want to hide the beauty. But anyway, I'm going to take it out just for visual purposes for this video. And just give me a second and I will show y'all this phone in all its glory. All right, y'all, so this is my iPhone XS Silver, 256 gigs. So I can shoot in 4K all day. I love that glass back. Oh man, it's so pretty. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be filming in 4K all day. My last phone was 64 gigs. It was good, but because I wanna, push out more quality content, I wanna strive for higher quality. And it takes gigs to do that, so I up my storage. So let me cut this on. Yes, I am a fan of Logic. That's why I have his album artwork as my wallpaper. That's what I usually do with my wallpapers. First I had Kendrick, then I switched to J. Cole. Now it's Logic today. And I had Kendrick on my phone for like a good 2 years. That To Pimp a Butterfly, yeah, that's a classic album. But anyway, yeah. So the screen is 5.8 inches diagonally. So it's the same as actually the iPhone 8 because it has a full screen. But anyway, one thing I didn't like about this, and I think it's just this version, the iPhone XS Max, on the last one, it switched to landscape. On this, it doesn't do it for the XS. So going in the video, let me pull something up real quick. One of the selling points for me was, of course, the screen. And right now I'm on YouTube. This is one of my YouTube videos. And you can stretch it out to full screen. And I bet it is so pretty on the Max. But yeah, like I said, I like my XS. I don't prefer the brick. But yeah. But one thing about this is when you do fill it in, you lose some of the context right here. Like you see my caption. In regular mode, you can see it, but when you stretch it out, so I wish they could have did something to where the format adjusts when you stretch it out, but it doesn't do it on here. I think it does a better job on it. I watched it on Hulu and it seems to do a better job with it on Hulu, so I guess it depends on the app. But also, I tried it on Facebook. It doesn't do it on Facebook. So it depends on which app you're using. Yeah, so that's enough of the video. Other thing about the screen, of course, people complain about the notch right here. There's really nothing you can do about it because that's what houses the camera. But I'm pretty sure at some point they're going to figure some way to get rid of this. So it's going to come eventually. But, it doesn't bother me too much. But that's pretty much it for the screen. Next topic I want to get into is the sound, and there was a huge improvement, I must say, on the sound. When I listen on my iPhone 8, it really depends on where it was coming from as far as the audio source, but across the board, Most of my audio is fantastic on here, so I'll give y'all a quick sample, play y'all a little bit of the Carter 5. I'll play a little bit so I don't get copyrighted. All right, that's enough. I think y'all get the point. All right, so that's pretty much it for the sound. Nothing much else to talk about on that topic. Huge improvement in that area. I love the sound of the XS. Definitely when you're watching like movies or like Hulu or something on it, definitely the sound is great. So that's a A+ on the sound. But I'm gonna go ahead and move into the security features. There was kind of another big one for me because I love the thumbprint scanner, which I had to let go of. But after a couple days with Face ID, I'm over it. I like Face ID. It's pretty cool. But the thing is with Face ID, definitely when you driving, I had to turn off the attention feature where you have to look directly at it for it to recognize your face. I turned that feature off when I'm driving anyway, so when I'm driving I can just do boom, keep my eyes on the road, keep it moving. Or else I'm gonna have to stand there and look at the phone for at least about 2-3 seconds before it recognizes me. So that's kind of the only downside I saw with the Face ID, but it works pretty much most of the time, and I don't have to worry about like the home button, getting smudged and have to wipe my finger off and stuff like that so it can read my thumbprint and all that stuff. But yeah, I do wish it was a way they could kind of put the thumbprint sensor like under the screen or something like that, because I know like with some Android phones it has it on the back. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I want it on the front. So with that being said, also, of course, there's no headphone jack, but I've been over that. I wear my iPods, not my iPods, but my AirPods all the time. So I haven't worn my corded headphones in like years. But anyway, so let's get to the main portion, that always entices me with the iPhones. Which is the only reason I got the 8 was because of the dual camera system. I know there's the iPhone XR that comes out later this month, which is basically a cheaper model. But I didn't want to let go of the dual camera system, so I chose to stick with the XS instead of going for the cheaper version. But if you're not like too much into the camera, I definitely would recommend that you probably wait for the XR, which I think is like $750 or something like that. All right, so decided to save the best for last. Of course, this year's phone, the camera lens is vertical instead of horizontal, but still the same dual camera system as the 7 Plus and the 8 Plus. But with this phone, and one thing that I like was with the portrait mode, you can only do the back camera with like the 8 Plus. But with the X and beyond, you have the true depth camera in the front, so you can do your portrait photos with your selfie cam, which is way more easier. All right, but one of the main features this year was the depth slider, so I'll show y'all that in action. And I love this feature, y'all. As soon as it turns up, hold on, sometimes it's hard to pop up. There it is. I took this earlier today, but with the depth slider, you can blur the background. You can change the aperture to 1.4, and that blurs it out the most, but it kind of looks unrealistic. But so I don't like to go all the way to the bottom. I just kind of like to do it to where it's just right. But you can also blow it back up to where the background is, in focus again. But yeah, that's one of the major improvements on the camera this year. All right, so I'm gonna say the part I care about most the last, and that is the video camera, of course. So I'm going to my settings. This year, not much has changed with the resolutions. Only thing I saw different was that you record 1080p at 60 frames per second with the front camera, so that's pretty good. But other than that, the resolutions are still the same: 720, 1080, and 4K. And only thing I don't like with this is that you can't record at 24 frames per second with 1080 or 720p. But anyway, I really don't use the native camera app anyway. I always use Filmic Pro right here, because it allows me to manually adjust my focus and choose different bit rates, frame rates, and also resolution. So I never really used the native camera app anyway, so it really doesn't bother me that much. So that's pretty much gonna be my take on the iPhone XS. Not a major update, but just due to my situation, I just decided to go ahead and upgrade anyway. But I think really, like, if you have an 8 Plus, you can probably keep your camera. As far as like the video, it's not gonna be a major difference except like the dynamic range and the color and things like that. But if you're like to the photography, then probably so, because of the front camera being able to do the portrait mode and the depth slider. So if you're more in the photo, maybe you should change. But yeah. But if you're like in an older phone, like a 5 or 6, yeah, go ahead and make the jump. But if you have an X, definitely keep your X. If I had an X, I would not change, depth slider or not. But anyway, that's pretty much gonna be it for my take on the iPhone XS. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. I felt like it was all over the place. I still have to get used to these tech reviews, y'all. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. See y'all later. Peace out.